Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to break down John Morrow's incredible 2026 playbook for growing a following and earning actual money on modern short-form platforms. If you've ever felt totally baffled by how these recommendation algorithms work, or if you're just looking for a solid methodical system to get past all the guesswork, well, you are in exactly the right place.
Let's be real for a second and dive into a pain point we all know too well. You spend hours planning, filming, and editing. You post it, completely convinced it's brilliant. Then, you refresh your screen an hour later to see 41 views. And let's be honest, half of those are probably you just refreshing the app. Meanwhile, some total random person with a cracked phone gets 1 million views. It absolutely makes you wonder what secret they know that you don't.
Well, it's not magic, it's a system. Here's exactly how we're going to tackle this today. First, we'll meet the recommendation machine. Second, mastering the craft. Third, building the following. Fourth, mapping out the money. And finally, playing the long game.
So, let's jump right into part 1. Meet the recommendation machine.
Okay, this right here, this is the absolute biggest paradigm shift you need to make. You aren't posting into a traditional follower feed anymore, where the biggest accounts always win. You are submitting an entry into a recommendation engine that cares way more about relevance than reputation. If you grew up on older platforms, you're used to a world where reach required a massive follower count. But today, the machine's entire job is just to keep people watching. A brand new account and a massive famous account start on the exact same starting line every single time they hit post.
Now, you might be wondering, if the machine is constantly testing whether people want to watch your content, what signals is it using during a cold start? I mean, when it has zero initial data on your post, how does it decide? Well, it can't read minds, but it absolutely can read behavior.
So, what specific behavioral data points is it tracking? It's looking closely at rewatches and loops. It heavily weights shares to private messages, meaning someone literally put their social capital on the line to send your clip to a friend. It tracks comment depth, hunting for real conversations instead of just one-word replies. But out of all these signals, early watch time is the absolute king. To actually push your content onto that viral escalator, the machine wants to see a brutal benchmark. It wants your average viewer to finish 70% of your clip. Length is a massive lever here. If you've got a 15-second clip and a large chunk of viewers swipe away in the first 2 seconds, your post is dead before it even has a chance.
Which brings us right to section 2, mastering the craft. This is your tactical playbook for creating highly watchable content. You've got to structure every idea you have into this rigid 3-step skeleton. Step 1 is the hook, from 0 to 3 seconds. You absolutely must stop the scroll with a promise or a question. Step 2 is the hold in the middle. Keep opening loops, use pattern interrupts, and ruthlessly chop out any dead air. And finally, step 3 is the reward at the end. Deliver on the promise you made and give them a clear reason to engage. I honestly love this direct piece of advice. Delete the first sentence of your script. Beginners waste those critical first 3 seconds on throat clearing. Hey guys, today I want to show you... Nope, half your audience has already swiped away. You should always start on the most interesting word to hook them instantly. If you're sharing a $4 dinner recipe, your literal first sentence needs to be, "This dinner cost $4. Boom, hooked. And let's totally destroy the myth that you need expensive gear to pull this off. Your phone is genuinely enough if you just master a few free basic production fundamentals. Face the window so you get that nice natural light. Film in a quiet, soft-walled room so your audio doesn't have a weird echo. Prop your phone up against some books to eliminate wobbly footage. And just shoot vertically, framing yourself dead center. Clean, well-lit, steady footage reads as competent, and that buys you the viewer's patience.
All right, let's move into section 3, building the following. There's this huge misconception out there that you need an audience before you can get reach. But the truth is, the follower count is just the receipt. It's not the ticket. You actually reach people first through consistent, hyper-niche experiments. The audience accumulates afterward as proof of your watchability. Make specific stuff for specific people, and let the algorithm do the matchmaking for you.
So what happens when the machine finally blesses you with a breakout hit? You've got to follow this exact playbook to convert that rented attention into a lasting audience before the wave crashes. In hour 1, you need to be replying to every single comment to pump up that engagement signal. By hour 24, drop a new, tightly on-niche post while all those strangers are actively checking out your profile. And by hour 48, pin a comment on that viral hit, directing all that massive traffic straight to your best related content.
But here is a crucial point. You have to normalize the flops. When your analytics show a cliff at the very first second or a slow bleed in the middle, you haven't failed. You've just received clear instructions on what to fix for next time. If they swiped instantly, your hook was weak. If they bled away slowly, your pacing dragged. Every quiet, low-view post is just tuition paid in the form of incredibly actionable data.
Now that we've got the audience, let's talk about Section 4, the money map.
Here is a pretty sobering reality check. Affiliate wealth is brutally concentrated. The top 0.5% of creators are capturing 38% of the affiliate sales. Why? Because you have to manage your audience's trust budget really carefully, rather than expecting to get rich quick. Trust is the single underlying asset you have. Every time you push an ad, you're spending a little bit of that trust. Protect it jealously. If you try to cash in out of sequence, you're going to ruin that trust. You absolutely have to follow this exact unlock order to properly diversify. First, build the audience. Then, explore affiliate or shop selling because a highly trusted niche audience will actually buy from you even at a small scale. Next, tap into the platform's payout programs once you cross those view thresholds. After that, go after brand deals. And finally, the holy grail, launch your owned products where you keep all the economics.
Which leads us perfectly into our final section, Section 5, playing the long game.
Look, we all saw the platform risks demonstrated by the U.S. ownership spinoff in early 2026. You absolutely cannot build your house entirely on rented land. You have to transfer that attention into assets you actually control. The stuff on the left, your followers, your algorithm reach, your platform standing, that can literally be altered overnight by a policy shift. You have to funnel that attention to the right side of the table, your email list, your digital products, and your own transferable creator skills.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a provocative question to chew on. What off-platform asset are you going to build today? Are you just going to keep scrolling, or are you going to plant the seed for a resilient business that survives the algorithm? Your phone is in your hand, the machine is waiting for your submission, and the rules are completely knowable now. Stop auditioning, start running your experiments, and let's get to building.